Hi, I'm Jazz, and this is All That Jazz, and this is my recovery YouTube podcast channel. I talk all things recovery. I am a mom. I am a woman in trades. I am Indigenous. I'm Canadian. I am lots of cool things, and I work really hard. So I work really hard on my recovery, and one thing I've learned to do is ask for what I need. I used to be in relationships where I would just expect people to meet my needs and know what those were, and don't they see, don't they understand? And it actually was a way for me to be a bit irresponsible and unaccountable. And when I was in Codependents Anonymous, that's where I really took those steps to start asking for what I need, to start figuring out what that was, to identify what that was. And I'm in recovery. I come from AA. It's huge to become accountable for stuff. That's my job. I'm learning how to live again. So taking responsibility, asking for what I need. It sounds so simple, but when you're in those moments, when you're frustrated, it's hard. First I have to be honest with that I even need something. I have to be aware that of what my feelings are doing. So usually this starts off with, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, I'm angry, and I'm starting to lash out. So it's if I don't deal with my feelings, they're going to come out in a sideways way. And that's usually how things start. Usually I'm figuring out what's this signal about? So I figure out the signal. That's okay to have feelings. It's best that I have them and I let them out in a healthy way. So I'm overwhelmed. The kids are, what I notice about me is that before the second round of bedtime, I need a break. I need at least 1 hour. So when I get the babies down, I just do 1 hour of just only for me. And I do that every night. And then when that hour is up, then I say everybody can come talk to me. But I had to ask for that. I had to set up that boundary. I had to give myself that. Nobody came to me and said, do you need an hour at this time every night? Do you need some time, some space to yourself at this time every night? Hey, here's the plan for your schedule and your life. Here we go. No, I had to figure out all that stuff for myself because it's my life, my body, my mind, my needs, my energy. So a huge part of my recovery is stepping into asking for my needs and vouching for myself and being clear and being direct. I used to kind of go about things in a sideways way before I started asking. And I used to be oh, it's such a mess here. Instead of saying, can you guys put this here? Can you guys put your shoes there? Can you clean this up? Can you take the garbage out? Not that, oh, the garbage is still here. I have to take ownership for myself. I have to ask for what I need. I need the garbage to not be my job. I need that to be your job. And I ask for what I need. I need plans. I need times. I like to do things on time. I need organization. But guess who's in charge of setting that kind of stuff up? Me. I got to set that stuff up. So I like that. I need that. I have to arrange that. But I have to ask for it. I can't just sit there and complain about it and go about it in a sideways way. So the thing about learning to start asking for my needs is I also am going to stop providing other people's needs if they don't ask for that. And I don't mean my children. I mean adults. I mean adults in my life. I have to start conserving my own energy for me. And so I stop providing other people's needs that don't ask. Now, as someone that likes to give, I've had to learn how to be a healthy giver. I can't just give everywhere all the time and leave nothing for me. And I also just can't be out there giving all the time. So then I might end up forming relationships where people need me in those relationships. When I actually want to form relationships because people like me, respect me, love me. So I got to change my tune. Anyways, so I'm not going to just be out there offering and taking care of other people's needs as well. But there's a switch here where I actually have to start taking care of my own needs. Even when it's so obvious, sorry, and it hurts and you don't want to do it. it's the way to be healthy and do it and to have that ownership. So, gonna take some breaks, gonna figure out where I need activity and where I don't. I gotta calm down in parts of my day, but I have to line that up. I noticed that when I was with my bigger boys, like went through the whole week and then they have their daddy day, I couldn't get through my own weekend, so I had to have a night off. And that's okay, because I found that when I just kept suffering and enduring and letting myself just constantly be beaten down, and not having that break, I wasn't good to anybody. So I'm back able to be back online and be there for my boys when I give myself a bit more of a break, when I have just a night off. And it goes by quick. It's literally probably just a night off from thinking and worrying about anyone, and from anyone, right from that bedtime routine, because I'm so dead meat at bedtime routine. So asking for what you need is literally like figuring out what that need is first and then voicing it. And it might not get met, but I gotta start voicing it. And when I first started this, it was uncomfortable and awkward, but as I kept trying, as I kept asking, it became a habit that is just like a default setting that happens in me that I use and rely on now. I just know to go to, did I ask? What do I need here? Do I ask? How do I ask for what I need? And am I asking from the right person? Sometimes I can be asking the wrong person. Sometimes bad help isn't good help. Maybe I can't be going to people that are showing me they can't meet those needs and trying to ask for that need to get met. I need to go to where those trustworthy sources are, where those available people are, where people are saying yes with a smile, where it's safe, right? Like I'm not getting a big reaction. I'm not getting a big guilt trip. I'm not feeling like I owe that person. Like, if I can't find a family member to help me with certain situations, I might have to hire it out, because it comes down to my peace as well. Like my peace in my relationships is hugely affects my life. And in recovery, I don't want to end up back where I was. So this is part of me changing everything. Changing and learning how to ask, who to ask, where to ask, and what that is. And then still trying to be a little flexible with that outcome, and did I ask my higher power? Am I working with him? Am I meditating? Am I praying? There's got to be those touches in the day where I'm also reaching out and I'm wondering, like, guide me through here. How should this play out? How should this be? And that is me living with my higher power in my life. He has to be with me all day long. This is how I make it work. So asking for what I need is going to be like, this one time I had an issue with somebody who kept parking their big truck like right in the complex, and I wasn't okay with that anymore. There's too many kids. And I noticed I noticed that frustration in myself, and I was so frustrated and I was angry and overwhelmed. I'm like, why do you do that? Don't you see all the kids? And I'm getting mad at them. And you know what that is though, is I have to take responsibility and ask for what I need. I need you to park over there. I need that peace. I need to not worry that the neighbors are going to run out in front of the truck. It's a big obnoxious truck. I can't have that for my life. That's my need. My need gets to be whatever I want, but it does not get met if I don't ask. I got to start asking for those needs to be met, voicing that, verbalizing that. Maybe I have to text it. Maybe I have to email it, but I just keep making it and I just keep reinforcing that. And that's going to lead to something better in my life. I'm definitely not going to get there by being quiet and thinking that they can read my mind. I know that reading minds doesn't work. And I know that being passive aggressive isn't a way of being responsible either. I got to get out in the open. I got to ask. Maybe they'll reject it. But that's part of being vulnerable, is asking anyways and facing that rejection. Facing that, okay, I might get rejected on this situation or this thing, but I'm going to be okay. Maybe I need a plan B. But either way, I'm going to be okay with that rejection, with that decline, with that, I don't agree, I don't want to. Maybe there's another way that my higher power wants me to meet that need. That's why I stay in conscious contact with my higher power. He's gonna work with me and build with me the life that he wants. But I have to do my part. There's the world, there's me, there's their stuff, there's God's stuff. There's a lot of things going on for my recovery, and I need to be paying attention. I need to be in the moment. I need to see what's happening, and I need to adapt and work with the situation that's in front of me. What is real? What is real here? And that's how I'm going to get to the life that I'm supposed to be living. And my life is a lot happier when I have my needs met. But I'm the person leading my life now with my help from my higher power. But it's coming from me. It didn't come because someone came over and said, hey, should I park there? Or hey, do you want an hour break now? No, it came from me figuring what those needs are and making space for it and asking for it, asking through all that fear over and over and over again. So you can do it. This is what I did. This is what they say to do. And I blame all of my things that have worked out for me on recovery, because I wouldn't be getting the life that I have today if I didn't have recovery, if I didn't surrender, if I didn't make space for this entire program to just take over. So I rely heavily on recovery. So thank you so much for being here, and see you at the next one.